Hi, this instructional video is about solving equations, multi-step equations that involve distributive property. Here, number one, I always tell the students, if you see a number outside the parentheses, you should be thinking distributive property. What you need to do is take that number outside the parentheses, the 4, and you're going to multiply it to the first term inside of parentheses, as well as the second term inside of parentheses. Okay? So in this case, we have a plus 4. You have to also consider the sign in the front. So plus 4, or just 4, times x is plus 4x. Plus 4 times plus 6, positive and positive becomes positive 24. Since we haven't done anything with the x on the outside, we're going to put that over here. And that equals negative 6. So that's the distributive property. From there, we're going to combine the like terms. Here we have an x, 1x. Here we have 4x. So combine those two, 1x plus another 4x, they combine to become 5x's. So 5x plus 24 equals negative 6. Now this becomes like our two-step equation. You, get out. Remember that one? And then you, get off my back. So to make the 24 move out from this side of the equation is to do the opposite, which is minus 24. And whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do it to the other. So on the left side, 24 and negative 24, they're additive inverse. They're opposite, so they become 0. So all you have is 5x on the left. On the right, this is like saying, you take out $6 from the bank, you take out $24 more. Together, you're going to owe the bank $30. So negative 30. And to solve for x, we're going to take that 5 and do the inverse of multiply, which is to divide the 5 to both sides of the equation. So the 5 and the 5 simplifies to become a 1x. And negative 30 divided by 5 is going to be 6. But when you multiply or divide a negative and a positive, that's going to become a negative. So that's my final answer. Now it says to check your solution. So we're going to take that x, which is negative 6, and substitute it into this x and that x right there. So it looks like this. Negative 6 plus 4 times the quantity of negative 6 plus 6. And does that equal negative 6, I hope? Something looks a little fishy. Here we go. So the order of operations says to do the inside of the parentheses first. So negative 6 plus 6, they're opposite of each other. So that becomes a 0. So that's negative 6 plus 4 times a 0. And anything times a 0 is a 0. So that's a 0 right there. So negative 6 is equal to negative 6. Hey, left and the right equals. That's a good answer. Now why don't you try numbers 2 and 3 using the distributive property. Go ahead. All right. So the first thing you should have said was, ooh, number outside of parentheses. Maybe not like that, but yeah. So you take that 3 outside of parentheses, and you're going to multiply it to the inside the first one, as well as the second one. Now be careful with the negative sign. That minus sign is the same as a negative sign. So 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 times a minus x, or negative x, is negative 3x, or minus 3x. They mean the same thing. Plus the 5x is equal to 8 on the right side. Now we have to combine the like terms. Which one of these 3 terms on the left, they are the same terms? Well, these two, they both have x's. So it's like saying you owe the bank $3, but you're going to put in $5. So your bank balance is actually positive. You have some money in there. So it's going to be plus 2x. Since we haven't done anything with the 12, it comes over here. Sorry, I'll be right back. Okay, so to solve for x, we're going to move the 12 to the other side of the equation by doing the opposite. So minus 12 to both sides of the equation. So as a result, 12 minus 12 is a 0. It's gone. So we have 2x is equal to, now we have a situation here. We have $8 in a bank, and we take out $12. We took out too much. So you have a negative balance. Bank balance is negative 4. You owe the bank $4 now. There's all these sounds coming out. And then we're going to solve for x by dividing that 2 to both sides of the equation. So we have x on the left and negative 4 divided by 2 out. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. To check it, I'm going to put a negative 2 in here, being very careful with the negative sign. Look at this. We go, that's like, think 3 times 4 minus negative 2. You see that? Plus 5 times negative 2. I hope they come out to equal all 8. 4 times negative 2 is like saying 4 plus 2. Negative, negative becomes positive. So that's like saying 3 times 6. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. Now you're like, hey, why'd you put a plus? Yeah, I know. I just want to keep it consistent because plus and negative, positive and negative is still negative. So that's 18 minus the 10. And what do you know? 18 minus 10 is in fact 8. So the left and the right is the same. So that's my good answer. Let me push this up a little bit. There we go. And finally, did you say take that 5 and multiply it to both terms inside the parentheses? So that becomes 10x plus 15 minus the 5 equals negative 70. So 15 and negative 10, 15 minus 10, 15 minus 5, I mean, is 10. Therefore, move the 10 by subtracting 10 to both sides, and the negative number on the right even becomes bigger. But no fret. We're going to divide that 10 to both sides of the equation, because then it's going to become, well, the base 10 rule says I could not get to both zeros. That's negative 8 over 1, or simply negative 8. To check, substitute it back into the 1x, or I mean the 2x right there. So 5 times 2 times negative 8 plus 3 minus 5. Does that equal negative 70? 2 times 8 negative is negative 16 plus 3. 16 negative plus 3 is negative 13. 5 times negative 13, because multiplication comes first in the order of operation. That's negative, what is that, 65? Minus 5 equals negative 70. You owe the bank $65, and you take out $5 more, you're going to owe the bank a lot more now. You're at negative 70 balance. And since negative 70 equals negative 70 on the right, that's a good answer. There it is. All right, good luck.